Welcome to the Boss Bar, brought to you by Boss Up Magazine. The Boss Bar is the official podcast for emerging entrepreneurs and successful business owners. Tune in each and every Thursday for an intimate conversation with the boss behind the business. Want to learn more about our guest? Simply go to bossupmag.org. I am your host, Destiny, and we have an amazing show lined up for you today. But first, a word from our sponsor. Hey bosses, are you interested in promoting your business on a global scale? Do you need help to formulate a strategic message for your clients? Would you like to possibly have your products and services showcased in print, digital, television, or perhaps even this podcast? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you should definitely consider advertising with Boss Up Magazine. Boss Up Magazine is the official place where bosses make power moves. We offer affordable solutions that empower businesses to level up by promoting their brand on a higher scale. Don't delay. Contact us now at info@bossupmag.org to make your boss move today. That's info@bossupmag.org. And now, back to the show. Today on the Boss Bar podcast, we're talking about keeping love alive with Saretta Brooks from the Crème Experience. The Crème Experience is a sensual greeting card company that helps to guide and encourage couples to make the time to love one another. Some topics we discuss today are the importance of delegating tasks to others, turning lemons to lemonade, tips to keeping you encouraged on your journey of entrepreneurship, and Saretta even shares a discount code for our Boss Bar listeners only. So stay tuned. Hey bosses, it's time for the Boss Move of the Week, the part of the show where we recognize everyday entrepreneurs and those giving back to the community. And I have to say, y'all were out here this week making some major boss moves. Normally, I really want to keep this segment focused on more local, homegrown entrepreneurs, and I'm going to give y'all a chance to shine in a second, but I'm a member of the Beehive, and I just got to give it up for the queen, okay? If you haven't heard already, Beyonce released a documentary on Netflix last week called Homecoming that chronicled her 8-month journey to get ready for Coachella. Aside from being just super inspirational and beautifully done in every sense of the word, if you paid attention to the documentary, in just about every shot, Beyonce was rocking her brand Ivy Park. I mean, she had the leggings on, she had the t-shirt, she even debuted a cute little hat that had a cutout for your natural hair ponytail or a straight ponytail if you choose. This is important, bosses, because no one can promote your brand better than you. I don't care if you make hats, if you're a motivational speaker, you make jewelry, you're a chef or a life coach. Before you start looking for others to promote you, make sure that you are your biggest advocate and advertisement, because no one knows your brand better than you. So it's up to you to spread the word. Thank you, Beyonce, for that little tip. Next up, I want to give a huge shout out to Bunny Mae from my hometown of Detroit, Michigan, who is making boss moves with her organization, Girl Gang. The Girl Gang is a collective that sets the stage for women to be themselves while also building the tools and relationships needed to propel their dreams and business ideas forward. I was in Detroit over the weekend for the Easter break, and I had an opportunity to have a randomly impromptu brunch with Bunny and the Girl Gang. And even though it was a spur of the moment type of thing, I must say it was such an empowering feeling to be surrounded by women that are on the move and just committed to helping each other succeed. I can't stress enough, bosses, the importance of just connecting with people that are doing what you want to do, people who are positive, encouraging, and full of light. So kudos to you, Bunny, for being a boss and creating that platform for women in Detroit. It's really, really needed. Our final boss move of the week comes from Aaliyah Harris, who is the founder of Diverse International Women of Color. Now, you know I'm all about connecting my listeners with opportunities that can help you guys to reach your dreams, and Aaliyah has done just that. She has created a scholarship for women of color that are seeking to study abroad for the summer. And I talked to Aaliyah earlier today, and she told me that she decided to create this scholarship after experiencing financial hardships herself as a student studying abroad in Hong Kong. It's a classic entrepreneur principle: see a need, fill a need. Aaliyah decided that she was going to be the one that was going to fill that gap and make sure that more students of color were able to travel outside of the country during their school years. Her mission with the scholarship is to encourage, inspire, and promote more women of color to broaden their horizons beyond the U.S., and she is awarding not one, not two, but 3 girls with a $500 scholarship to aid in their financial experience abroad. The deadline to apply for this scholarship is May 1st, which is literally right around the corner. So if you would like to apply for this scholarship, or just get more information, or maybe you want to support her, send an email to diversewomenofcolor@yahoo.com. Congratulations again, Aaliyah, for being a boss by giving back to your community. If you would like to nominate someone for Boss of the Week, send us an email at bossbarpod@gmail.com. And now, let's get into our conversation between the bosses. All right, guys, welcome back to the Boss Bar Podcast, where we introduce you to the boss behind the business. Today on the show, I am joined by Saretta Brooks from the Crème Experience, and today, y'all, we are turning it up a couple notches. We're talking all about Black love and how we got to work to keep it alive. Saretta has a business. It's called the Crème Experience, and it's an innovative yet sexy way to evoke positive energy into any relationship. They design sensual greeting cards with bold, colorful graphics and provide a host of dating concierge services. Their belief is that everyone should experience love, and the Crème Experience helps to guide and encourage couples to make the time to love one another. Welcome to the show, Saretta.
Thank you, Destiny.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you on the show today. Can you tell me what inspired you to start this company and kind of give us a little bit more background on it?
Well, okay. Well, first of all, Destiny, let me say thank you guys for having me. I'm very excited about this opportunity.
Yeah,
I'm so glad that we're talking about Black love, because Crème is all about relationship building. So I have to say, I'm married for 24 years.
Wow.
And in my family, I have grown up to recognize, appreciate, love, accept, be an advocate for marriage and strong relationships in general. So I watched my grandparents of 50-plus years, married until the day she died. I watched my parents, who were married until the day that my dad died. And in my family, with my aunts and uncles, I just grew up recognizing and learning from them what a strong relationship looks like and what it should be. So your question is, what inspired us to start our company, Crème Experience? Well, my husband inspired me.
Wow.
So I'll tell you a little story.
Okay.
So I often would just take little regular sticky notes, right? And I would write little nasty but sexy notes on the
Hey, the Bible says the marriage bed is undefiled.
Exactly. And those who are godly know that you can do almost anything with your husband except for quite a few things that God specifically states that you can't. But other than that, God wants us to be in a healthy marriage. So I would always write these little notes to my husband. We could be at church. I would put them in his coat pocket. I know, right? Whether it was his coat pocket, his jacket, I would put them all over the house. And, like, we could be at church, and my husband would go into his pocket to get maybe his ink pen or whatever, and he would pull out, what? My sticky note. But I found that I was like, okay, I was doing that for a long time, and I was like, I want to do something else. And so I thought about, well, what about a greeting card? Okay. And I have to tell you, I went searching, looking for something that was sexy, classy, not nasty, but classy.
I like that.
But that expressed what I wanted to say and what I think other women wanted to say. I'm telling you, I couldn't find anything. Not only could I not find anything, what I did find did not represent me as a black woman. Okay. It didn't have any of my features. The lips didn't look like my lips. The eyes didn't look like my eyes.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, I want to create this because I felt like I know I'm not the only woman who loves and appreciates marriage and wants to do things constantly to help keep her marriage spicy. So out of that, Cream was born.
That is beautiful. And, when I think about successful entrepreneurs, a lot of times they say that one of the really big things you have to do to be an entrepreneur and be successful is look where there's a void. What problem are you helping to solve? And I just love how you didn't see that representation. You didn't see yourself in that industry, and you decided to just make it, and you took that step. That's really, really commendable.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and you're absolutely right, Destiny, because one of the things that, like, I'm traveling, right? So we are a relatively new company. However, we've been traveling the city, different cities and states, right? Sort of kind of introducing Cream to people. And I can tell you when the women see these cards, right, they are saying exactly and feeling the same exact way that I felt initially. They're like, they all are saying, there's nothing like this. And I'm like, you're right, because you can clearly look at the card and see a feature of some sort that resembles you.
That's amazing. Representation really does matter. I know I'm passionate about a lot of things, but I know that when I see different articles of clothing or, book bags or things like that with people that look like me on it, right away I'm like, yes, I want that. I need that right now. I think maybe just as black people in America, we are starved from that. Like, it's really difficult to go out and see things that resemble who you are.
Yeah, I totally agree. I completely agree. And in this industry, love and relationships, I mean, we need to work ourselves within our own relationships. So I just feel like we just need something. We currently have our greeting cards, like you mentioned earlier. We also have a dating concierge service, and that's all about helping people plan their dates, right? Whether it is a special anniversary, a special birthday, like your husband's or your boyfriend's birthday, or whether it's just a regular date night where you want to go out on a date with your man, but you don't have time to do the planning for it. Well, Crème Experience.
That sounds like my life, except I don't have a man. But
okay, so
it would be very difficult to try to get something together for him if I did.
But exactly, you see, so you're a busy woman on the go. But if and when God blesses you with the man, you can still be that busy woman on the go. And when you need or want to, schedule something, plan something for you and your boo, then we can do it for you. And you can still be that successful woman on the go. You can have them both. I
love that. And it doesn't matter, like, where I'm located.
Absolutely. We will plan.
Can men do this as well? I said, can men plan dates as well?
Absolutely. And men will also help you plan your proposal. So every man, most men, want to make that proposal special. But I can tell you, Destiny, a lot of them don't know really what to do, and they sort of suffer with, do I do this? Do I do it here? Do I do this? Well, we will help plan that for you. will help plan it for that man, will give him all of the details, and let him execute it. And if he needs our help executing it, we'll also help him execute it. Absolutely. No
really
different
great.
than, yeah, we do the same for men and women.
So basically you're telling me I can meet a guy, you guys can help set up the perfect date, whether I'm planning it, he's planning it, then we fall in love, he can call you guys and say, I want to blow destiny away. They can call you and you can make that happen.
Absolutely. And then when you guys get married, you can make sure that you invite us so we can make sure that we attend the wedding.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like where this is going. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So in terms of the card, you have a very sensual picture with features of African Americans on the card. Are there any poetry or writing on the card?
So the cards the front of the cards are all graphic, okay? And they're bold and colorful, and I'll just tell you that the graphics are one-of-a-kind artwork. So we have an artist that works for Crème Experience, and those are actual pencil drawings. So they're not just a pattern or anything like that we just slapped on a piece of cardstock. They are one-of-a-kind pencil drawings. So the front are all bold, colorful graphics, and then you open the inside of the card and the message. There's a different message in each card.
Okay, great. And you're the one that wrote the message in the card?
Absolutely.
Wow, I love that. Now, there's a lot of people that, they have these ideas and dreams of things they want to do, but there's one component of it that, hey, they may not know. You knew that you were already making these note cards, but you wanted to add the component of art, and obviously you aren't the artist. So how did you go about finding the artist, and did that ever, not knowing how to draw, I don't know, I'm not trying to come for your art skills, but did the not being able to draw or be the artist for it, did that ever kind of hinder you in any way?
No, definitely not at all, because I'm a firm believer that there's help out there for whatever you need. And not only am I a firm believer that there's help out there, people really want to help. You as the business owner or the entrepreneur or the boss, right, you may have to do the work to find that person, okay, but people are out there with different skill sets, et cetera, et cetera. It's no different than if you were hiring people on your company. As we start to hire people, I don't necessarily need to be an artist because I can hire an artist, right? So there are many ways of finding different people based on what you need. I mean, there's a jillion ways to find people. So for your audience, for your listening audience, don't let that be an obstacle for anything that you're trying to do. If it's something, you don't have to have it all, right? Just because you're the owner does not mean you have to know it all or you have to have it all. And I'll also say, as far as finding the artist, I have to give that credit to my husband, because, you need a team of some sort, right?
Yep,
and
absolutely.
my husband worked tirelessly to find an artist. And I can tell you, we met with and I interviewed and I looked at work of so many artists before we decided to go with this artist.
Okay.
So it's out there. Don't let that deter you from being a boss. Not at all.
Absolutely. I love that. And I think it's really important to have a good circle of supporters around you. I heard it say, if you hang around with 9 losers, pretty soon you'll be the 10th loser in that group. So you never want to be the strongest link in your friend group. You always want to surround yourself with people that can pour into, empower you, and encourage you, even when, you can't encourage yourself.
Yes, that is so important. Surround yourself, not just in business, I'll say, in life, Destiny. Surround yourself around positive people who, they don't have to be in the same business that you're in, but they are on what I like to say, the same wavelength.
Exactly.
You're all trying to progress, right? Because like you said, like if you're hanging with losers, I'm sorry, you will eventually be a loser. So hang around the right people.
Exactly. Before we go to commercial break, I just want to ask one last question. What is a common misconception that some people may have about the Crème Experience?
You know what? That's an absolutely great question, and so I'll answer that in this way. When people look at our greeting cards, because we're new and because they don't know all about Crème yet, they think that it's about sex. Even on social media, like I've had to ask some people on social media, please to refrain from certain comments. Because just because you see a sexual or sensual act, okay, Crème is not about sex. The sensual greeting cards are to help spice up your lovemaking process or your lovemaking encounter with your mate. That's the purpose of the sensual greeting cards. But Crème Experience is so much more than sex. We're more about building and strengthening relationships than it is about sex. But obviously, a key component of having a strong relationship is lovemaking.
Okay. I like that. It's sexy, sensual, but not pornographic.
Not pornographic at all. And so for your listening audience, in case people don't know the definition of pornographic, you will never, ever see in a Crème card, and I hopefully I can say this on here, but you'll never ever see a man's penis, and you'll never ever see a woman's vagina. Okay, you will never see that. You'll see sensual body parts, but you will never ever see that. You'll never ever see something that you'll be able to say, "Ooh, that's what that is," or "Ooh, that's what that is," because that thing gets into a completely different category, industry that Crème Experience is not interested in being in.
Oh, okay. I mean, well, that makes sense to me. You know, that really makes sense. And where can we find these cards again?
So you can go to our website, which is www.creme, CREME, experience, EXPERIENCE.com. Again, that's www.creme, CREME,
All righty. Hey, bosses, we've got to pay the bills, but when we come back, we'll finish talking to Saretta from the Crème Experience about her journey to be a boss. We'll be right back after the break. Hey, bosses. I want to talk to you about a new accessories brand called Covenant One Creations. Covenant One Creations is based in Detroit, Michigan, and is the best place to get your summer gear. With a variety of unique options from hats and phone cases to t-shirts and hoodies, Covenant One Creations has got you covered. Go to www.covenantonecreations.com and enter offer code BOSSBAR10 at checkout for 10% off your order. What are you waiting for? Go to www.covenantonecreations.com today. Okay, bosses, I'm back with Saretta from the Crème Experience, and now we're just going to kind of dive into the nitty-gritty about her company and really how she was able to build this sensual greeting card company from the ground. So, let's just start from a place that may not be great for you. Let's start by talking about a time where you failed, a time where, you had plans together, you thought something was going to work out, and it didn't happen the way that you thought that it would. Tell me about that time.
So this is a great question for me, and I'll tell you why it is. So although Crème Experience is new, right, so we relaunched back in 2018 mid-year. But I have to tell you this, and I'll give you the brief story of Crème. Back in 2003, I started a Crème, right, with a partner, okay? and I was pregnant when I started Cream. In less than 6 months, Cream was in 6 stores, 6 adult novelty stores in the Dallas and Houston areas.
After 6 months of starting?
After 6 months of starting, okay?
Wow.
But I had a very, 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 very difficult pregnancy where I was on bed rest for more than half of my pregnancy. And literally, literally in the bed in order for my daughter to be born, right?
Wow.
So I wasn't able, I got to a point where, unfortunately, I wasn't able to work. And so my partner at the time didn't have, well, it's always been my vision, my company. You know, the way that I told your audience, the reason I started it is the reason I started it, and that's how I started it. But at the time, I thought, well, you know what, it would be good to have a partner, so I brought a partner in. However, she didn't feel that at that time, she wanted to do the work without me also working, which I understand, right? You know, you want everybody to pull their weight, but unfortunately, I couldn't pull my weight. So we dissolved it as far as her being a partner, okay? And so that was the end of that. But it's always been my baby, and I've always known that I wanted to make Cream I wanted to actually, God had given me a vision, and I wanted to do what he had given me. And so I've always known that I was going to come back to Cream in full force. So fast forward, I relaunched in 2018. I changed everything, enhanced the cards, made them better, and I mean just like completely different than what the old cards were, and I moved forward.
Wow.
So, I mean, the obstacle, if you want to call it that, right, was me not being able to help or fulfill my end as far as working in the business. However, I didn't let that stop me, okay?
Wow.
She moved on, and that was great, and I rebuild Cream to make it what it is today.
That's really touching to me because I actually was in a car accident and I broke my leg. And I've always been the type of person that's just I'm very fast-paced. I have a lot of things going on at the same time, but I always accomplish all of my tasks. However, once I broke my leg, I had to sit it on down, and that was so hard for me, to have to put up my dreams and, like, just watch everybody else following their dreams. And it was just really a really hard and depressing time for me. But I had to understand that I didn't lose my value just because I broke my leg and I wasn't able to do those functions. I still had that value. I still had that worth. It's just sometimes you have to just sit back, regroup, and you came back, you rebranded, you came back stronger than ever, and I really commend you for that. Like that, it really takes a lot to come back after you failed. So that's really, really great.
You know, and that's absolutely true. And I, you know, and sometimes failure is needed. Mm-hmm. It really is. Sometimes failure is needed to help you realize, you know, how to do it better. And today, I'm appreciative for that. You know, I have a healthy daughter, and you know, I could have possibly started Cream even sooner than I did, right? Mm-hmm. Sooner than 2018. But you know what? It wasn't God's time. Yeah. My husband, you know, would say, you know, are you starting this year? I kept saying, I'm gonna start when God say that it's ready for me to start. Mm-hmm. And so I'll say to everybody, don't let something, like, please use me as an example. Like I said, I was on bed rest for 7 months. And if I can still come back after that and after those years and I can do it, anybody can.
Wow. That's amazing. And I think another part of it is just understanding what's really important. At that time, the life of your child was at high importance. You know what I mean?
Right.
And in my case, making sure that my leg was in a much better place no matter how long it took. I'm still going through a recovery process right now, and the accident happened almost 2 years ago.
That's right.
But that was what was most important, because to carry out the purpose that I needed to carry out, I feel that I was intended to have the use of my leg. Now, if it was something different, if it wasn't intended to be that way, then things would have worked out in a different manner. But, you really just have to sit back and realize what is really important. The next question I want to ask, and it's kind of as a follow-up to the other one, but do you ever have days where you just feel like, oh, man, this is not it. I really need to find something else to do. This is not working for me. And if so, what keeps you motivated on those days?
I haven't had a day yet where I have woken up and said, this is not what I want to do. And I probably haven't had that. I probably just haven't had that because of the time that sort of lapsed, right, from years ago until now. Okay. But I certainly do have those days where I am absolutely tired because I've been up until 4 o'clock in the morning, and I still have a regular 8 to 5, 9 to 5 job. So I'm also still a mother. I'm still a wife. Wow. So I absolutely have those days. And I can tell you, I have my own routine as far as what I do when I get up in the morning, and I try my best to keep that routine consistent, because that's my time when I'm telling God that I'm so grateful, even though I'm tired, because I'm human, and I actually need help, and so even though I'm tired, I am so grateful to God for the opportunity. I'm so grateful that He brought me from the past years where I couldn't do it for those reasons, and then He has brought me to this point. So yeah, I do have those days. I don't have the days where I wake up saying this is not what I do, because Crème Experience is a brand, and it's so necessary and needed in our community today that I'm not stopping. Like I have to help bridge the gap and help us to learn how to have healthy relationships so that we can enhance our marriages and our marriages to be. So I don't wake up saying this is not what I want to do or thinking about something else. I actually wake up thinking, Lord, what else can I do to move forward? So
that's really good. I like what you said about getting up early and starting your day intentionally. I read somewhere that most millionaires, and this is indicative of where you're headed, they get up and they start their day at 5 a.m. Sometimes a little bit earlier than that, just to make sure that they set intentions for the day. They get into a habit of doing different things, and I recently started doing that myself, and I honestly have to say that I feel so much more motivated, so much more encouraged and empowered to go throughout my day, because I'm not waking up for the purpose to go to a 9-to-5 job to make somebody else money. I'm waking up because I have goals that I want to accomplish. I'm waking up because I want to start my day on a good path. And I really encourage anybody that, is struggling to find, some type of drive or ambition. Give it a try. I started just giving it a try just for a week, and it was so positive for me. I'm not going to say it was very easy to wake up that early. It was not, because I am a late nighter. But looking at the results of it made it totally worthwhile for me. So to follow up with that, what does a day in your life look like?
Okay, so I wake up very early. I typically fix breakfast. I said I have a daughter, and I'm an old-fashioned mom from the perspective of I actually cook. So my daughter is 15. Okay. And so I still want to send her off with a good, healthy breakfast, and so I do that. I let the dog out, and that's my time. That's my time of prayer, and that's my time of telling thanking God for all he's done for me and what he's about to do.
Mm-hmm.
I spend a good amount of time outside with the dog, and I come in and feed the dog. And before all of that, I've already sent my husband off to work, and I come in, and like I said, I still have a 9 to 5, so I get dressed, I go to work. I leave work, picking up my daughter. I come home, I cook, and I work Crème Experience until the wee hours of the morning. And so whether that's 2 o'clock, whether that's 4 o'clock, whatever it is, I'm working until I have achieved everything that I needed to get done for that day for Crème Experience. So the same amount of time, actually more, because I'm working over in the night. I'm at a place where eventually I will just work Crème Experience. And so I'm giving Crème everything that I would give anybody else. I'm giving it to Crème Experience. Yeah.
That's really, really good. I think that motivation and consistency is what kind of separates the real entrepreneurs from those, or I wouldn't say real, but successful entrepreneurs from those that, you know, may keep trying and don't see any results and, you know, kind of get discouraged or give up. So that consistency is really, really great.
You gotta work. God says if you make one step, he'll make two. You have got to work, and that's it.
Absolutely. Can you tell me what investments that you have put into your business? It may not be monetary investments. It may be like trainings that you've done, you know, business plans, partnerships, things like that. What types of things have you put into your business to get to this point?
So I said I have a 9 to 5. So I have a background in coaching, financial, project management, all of that stuff. So I'm well versed and educated in those areas.
Okay.
But what I also do is that every opportunity I get to participate in some type of learning session, I do it.
Okay.
Every opportunity that I get, right, where, you know, whether it's an online course or what have you, I do that. I also I try and read some books. I'm trying to read some books about sales and sales funnels and stuff like that, just to sort of kind of help me to understand what I can do better as far as my sales funnel. Okay. So I do that, and I tell you one big thing that I have done is I have surrounded myself around women, like women, and I have to share this with you. I prayed and I put on my vision board that I completed at the beginning of the year, and I told my husband that I was definitely going to surround myself around some like women. So I've done that. I'm participating in some tours, which are like expos with like women. So I'm doing all of those things. And honestly, just destiny, any and everything that comes across my path that I feel like that I need to attend to educate myself, or I'm doing it.
That is really, really great. Yeah, like you cannot discredit the power of having positive people in your circle, behind you, in front of you, around you. I mean, even if you have to pay somebody to be your life coach to just keep encouraging you because you don't have any positive people around, or you have to find an inspirational podcast to listen to. That's what I started doing. I listened to, I don't know if you heard of Les Brown.
Oh, I love Les Brown, of course.
Oh, my goodness. He is so encouraging and inspiring. He makes you just want to get up and get going. So you got to have those types of people in your circle. So that's really, really great. Now I just want you to toot your horn for a moment and tell me what has been your most proud moment thus far in your business career. You know, at this point you said you've been doing this since about 2003. 6 months after you started, you were in 6 adult novelty shops. Keep telling me the greatness that you have achieved.
And remember, although we started back in those years, I didn't launch really until Crème Experience didn't launch until 2018. But I can tell you some things that we've accomplished. So I participated in the NBA All-Star Weekend. It was with several celebrities.
NBA All-Star Weekend?
Which was in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Wow.
It was very successful. It was a pretty much all star-studded event. It was very successful. I've done that. I've connected with a lot of women, different groups in the Dallas Metroplex area, and I've been doing a lot of their expos.
Okay.
I also one of my biggest achievements that will be coming up is the plan to attend and participate in the Essence Festival.
This year?
So this year.
That's going to be major.
That's going to be major. So myself, like a lot of other people, were waiting on final vendor information. So we've done that, or we're planning to do that. We're also planning to attend, it's in the works, but we're planning it to attend the Hampton Jazz Festival in June, which is in Virginia. So we've done that. We've done. I'm trying not to drop names because I don't really want to do that. But I participated in a. Okay. Well, I participated in a shopping expo with Shawn Melson, who is one of the celebrity stylists. She styles a lot of the different stylists. Kim Zolciak, she styles Monica, she styles, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've done that. And even I want to go back to the event in Charlotte, North Carolina, because if I can, want to give somebody props. So if you guys don't know who Charity Love is, she is so awesome. So she curated the event, and the event was with Swag, was with Nene Lee. Her Swag District, her Swag Boutique was there. Miss Skittles was there. So it was a big, huge event. And I have to tell you that if you've never attended one of Charity's events, Yandy was there.
Wow.
So it was awesome. It was completely awesome. And if you've never participated or attended one of Charity events, make sure that you get a chance to do so. Because it will be awesome, and I can tell you that.
Now, you talked a lot about a lot of the vendor events that you've been to, and I know some of my listeners, they've gone to vendor events, and I've heard from different people, depending on, what their background is, they don't necessarily always see it as something that's successful. So you've obviously had success at these events. Can you tell me some suggestions that you may have for business owners that want to maximize their investment and showcase their products at these events? How were you able to do it?
So the first thing I would say is don't try and attend every event.
Okay.
So I'm a small company. I have a small budget.
Okay.
And at the beginning of the year, I established the budget for the year, and I purposely identified certain events that were events that we must participate in, which were some of the larger events, and then I set aside an amount to participate in the smaller events and to participate in some events like that I may not be aware of, but as they come, I want to participate in them. But one of the key things for me, I said don't try and participate in all of them. What is very key to me is it's the person who is curating the event, what they stand for, what they believe, their reputation. I am going by what I feel. So if the person has the right energy, they've got a good reputation, we're a like mind, then I'll do it. I can tell you that there are so many that I have looked into, Destiny, that I didn't do, and I won't do. Okay. I'm also participating in a tour. It's called Street Chronicles Tour. And matter of fact, tomorrow we'll be in Tyler, Texas. And this is a tour where there's a panel of women who are talking about their experiences and their backgrounds or struggles with men and with life in order to help other women. I participated in that because the purpose of it. The purpose of the event also matters to me, right? Mm-hmm. So I think one has to not just participate in anything just to be participating in it, but it needs to mean something to you. Mm-hmm. And then I think if it means something to you and there's a purpose, and the curator has a good reputation, I think that'll be helpful for your viewers. And then that's something that you can then participate in, and you'll probably do okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I think that really will be helpful for people, because sometimes you have the tendency to just kind of want to do a little bit of everything, and you can't always do that. Sometimes you have to sit back and narrow in your focus. Hey, guys, We'll be right back after the break. We're going to talk about boss tools, and we even have a listener letter for you guys. Stay tuned. If networking with people headed to the top is something you enjoy, the Cupcakes and Conversation Tour is an event you do not want to miss. Meet us in Wilmington, Delaware on July 20th, where we will be sharing the ins and outs of being a boss with people making major boss moves. This event will have cupcakes, mimosas, guest speakers, and more. Go to www.bossupmag.org to get your tickets today. That's www.bossupmag.org. Welcome back to the Boss Bar Podcast. I'm joined with Saretta Brooks of the Crème Experience, and now is the time of the show where we're going to talk about some tools, boss tools. It's a segment in our show where we share helpful tips that you can use in your business. If you have a tool that you think our listeners would benefit from, send a message to bossbarpod@gmail.com. Well, for me, folks, and I was not paid for this at all to say, but I think right off the top of my head, I would definitely say that Wix.com is an excellent tool for business owners that just want to get started out there. You may be a business owner, you may have a blog, you may have an informational site that you want to publish. They just really simplify the process and make it as easy as 1, 2, 3. I use it myself, and honestly, it really inspired me, because when I saw how easy it was to make my ideas public for other people to see it, I was like, well, I may as well keep going and moving forward with this Fly Girl thing. So definitely, guys, check out Wix.com for all your website and business needs. What about you, Saretta?
Okay, so my advice is not a digital product.
Okay.
So I would recommend to your listening audience to hire a publicist. I'm actually in the process of doing that myself. Okay. But I think, especially when you're strong, we sometimes don't think about utilizing our resources, meaning our financial resources, in that manner. But I think having a publicist is so important. I think when you have a publicist, the person is able to open doors for you sooner than you're able to open those doors. And absolutely. So I would say take some of your investment and put some of those that investment into the resources of hiring a publicist. There's a lot of small publicists out there that are willing to work with small companies, so the fee is not so expensive. You'd be surprised as the fees. It's not where you can't afford them. But so I would suggest hiring a publicist.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes a lot of people let those things kind of detour them, but if you really do your research, you are absolutely right about what you said earlier. There are always people that are willing to work, and, maybe you can't afford it, but you may be able to barter services, So it's always a matter of just researching and thinking about how you can really make it happen in a special way.
Yep, I agree.
So we're going to move now to the Ask the Boss segment of the show. And if you have a question, my listeners, if you guys have any questions about any aspect of starting a business, being motivated, or you just want to say hello, just shoot us an email at, once again, bossbarpod@gmail.com. Sandra from Philadelphia asks, what are some ways that I can effectively manage my wifely duties, take care of the kids, and run my business at the same time? I have 2 kids, aged 10 and 14, who always have events to go to. My husband works full-time and is usually tired when he comes home and can't always help out. I have so many opportunities available to me to expand my business and make more money, but I can't help but feel guilty for not being home as often. And actually, this is funny because it kind of sounds like you in a nutshell, but I really think you might be able to shed some light to this. What do you think?
I would suggest to that listener to do something that I'm also doing now. Look for some interns. Find the specific need that you need, like whatever is most important or that you need to do that you're not able to do. And or let's say that you can focus on something, but then have a different area of focus for somebody else, something that an intern can
delegate.
do. And exactly, delegate, right? Because you can't do it all. And get you some interns. I'm doing it right now. That's exactly what I'm doing. So you'll be surprised. You can go to the community colleges or your universities, and you can get interns. And a lot of interns, you never know when that particular internship actually turns into employment.
A real job.
So a real job. So I'm telling you, go get some help by reaching out and going to get you some interns. Because as a mother and as a wife, that comes first, right? And then, but you can do it all. And then the other thing I would say is just do it.
Yeah.
Stay up those late nights after the children are in bed, after your husband has gone to sleep. Just do it.
That's right. Now, I have some young followers. I have followers from 18 to 15 and some 35, all over the spectrum. Some of them might be looking for internships. How could they contact you if they're interested in submitting a resume to help you out?
They can reach us by sending us an email at thecreamexperience@gmail.com. Again, that is thecream, CREME, experience@gmail.com. And please, we need lots of help in lots of areas. And so, again, you never know. It may turn into full-time employment.
Thanks so much for your feedback on that question. Once again, guys, if you have a question you'd like to be answered on the air, shoot us an email at bossbarpod.com. We are getting ready to wrap up the show, but lastly, I really just want to ask you, and I have to ask everybody that comes on this show, what makes you a boss?
I am a boss because I didn't complete my journey in 2003, but I knew that this was something that I was always going to do, and something that I always wanted to do. So I'm a boss because I did not let that defeat me. I could have, like so many people do, I could have, looked at it as failure, but I didn't look at it as failure, and I looked at it as just an opportunity for me to do even better things, which is what I'm doing now. So I'm a boss because of that. I'm a boss because, number one, I am a child of God.
That's right.
Number two, I am a wife with a wonderful husband. And I'm a boss because, yes,
I'm here for it.
I'm a boss because I have a daughter who is extraordinary, and I know that all the time and effort that I put into her and not put into Crème at that time was what God wanted me to do.
And it
so
was worth it.
Absolutely. So there's a time and a place for everything, and I'm a boss for so many reasons, but those are the most important reasons.
All right. Okay, so lastly, Saretta, before we get out of here, can you tell me, please, how can we get to your products? You've been talking to us today. We've been talking about Black love, the need to keep it going, the need to just love on our spouses when we get one, and those around us. And just I mostly really like the concierge service that you provide. Tell us, how can we get our hands on this again?
Absolutely. So, Destiny, your listening audience can reach us by going to our website, which is located at www.cremeexperience.com. Again, that's www.cremeexperience.com. And for the time Thursday, April the 25th through Thursday, May the 2nd, your listening audience will be able to use the discount code BOSS45. Again, that code is BOSS45. Buy 4 or more greeting cards and get your card for $5.
Oh, wow. That's really great. Guys, make sure you check that out. Go to her website. Use that code. Share, like. Tell everybody that you know about the Crème Experience. Saretta, do you have any final words as we get ready to wrap up?
Yeah, I absolutely do. Once again, I want to thank you for having Crème Experience. I want to leave one important thing with your listening audience, and it's about relationships. I want you all to know and always remember that relationships are so important. So that means that we have to put time in working our relationships. So many people want to be married, et cetera, but we often either don't know the time and the work that we need to put into it. Crème will help you understand what's required. So it's just so important. Marriage is not about just getting married and then letting things go. Marriage is about doing things, keeping a strong bond with your partner on a regular and consistent basis. So if you don't hear anything else that I've said, I want everybody to think about that. In a relationship, it does require your work, but the work can be fun and exciting, right? So just as long as you are putting the work in, you will always have a strong bond with your mate.
Wow, that's really beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Once again, you can find her products at www.cremeexperience.com. You can also follow her on the Instagram at The Crème Experience. Thanks again, Saretta, and I hope to talk to you again soon in the future.
Thank you, Destiny. Have a wonderful day.
You too. You've been listening to the Boss Bar Podcast, brought to you by Boss Up Magazine. Tune in each and every Thursday for an intimate conversation between emerging entrepreneurs and successful business owners. If you would like to have your business featured on the show or have a question you would like to ask the bosses, send us an email at bossbarpod@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week at the Boss Bar.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.